Quilters love to make quilts for kids.
And with our new book, it just got better.
Keep watching.
Hi, it's Donna Robertson.
And Fran Morgan with Fabric Cafe.
Thanks for joining us today. We're introducing our brand new Quilts for Kids book. And is this one awesome? It's got some great new things.
And we have enlargements for every pattern.
That's right. So when those kids get bigger, you can make quilts a little bit bigger. So let's get started.
Yes.
The first one that we're going to do is called Big Picture. And this one is one of those fun, super fast quilts that you can make with a regular fabric. This is not a panel. This is actually a yard cut to size for this particular quilt with a cool border. And what kid doesn't like those dinosaurs? Let's put that up here. For some reason, I think it's kind of a novel idea that at one time there was something on this earth that's not here anymore.
It is kind of interesting to think about. And these are darling dinosaurs, such bright colors and fun, happy faces.
I love them. So you're going to cut a big square out of this first fabric, the number one fabric. And if you're joining us for the first time, you always put your focus in the number one position on one of our patterns. Then the number 2 and 3 fabrics, you compare those two and you put the light in the number 2 and you put the dark in the number 3. And I love these extra fabrics that are in this particular one because they look so good and pick out those super, super colors. So this one is called Prehistoric Times 8022298. Big Picture is the name of the pattern, and it is available in the brand new revised edition of Quilts for Kids.
That's awesome.
If you buy 3 kits, you can get one of the books free. If you don't take the 3 kits with the free book, then you can take 1 free pattern with each kit.
That's awesome. This quilt is Checkmate. And is this not fun? And I love it too because just like the Big Picture that we saw, it has a nice big strip of fabric to really show off the print on that fabric, which is great and super fast. So let's check out the kit for this. Now, is this not the cutest fabric? I just love all these little animals in space. And you know, I was looking at this fabric with Hannah the other day, and we thought it was so funny because the little rabbit has a carrot, and the little squirrel has an acorn.
Oh, and the cat has a fish.
And the cat has a fish, and the little mouse has a cheese. I just love it. So if you were dreaming of being in space, I really think that you would go and take your favorite thing with you. So.
Oh, that's a good point. And just like we just got through doing, that's the way kids do with the quilts. That when they're like, I remember whenever I used to take a nap, and I actually had a bedspread that was a printed quilt design. Do you wonder where I got this? I didn't like to take naps, and I'd sit there and I'd pick out the matching fabrics, and I would pick out the pattern.
It's ingrained in her. She was born to quilt.
I didn't know that, but I remember entertaining myself for hours with the quilts.
So this is absolutely darling. So here we have our focus fabric with our little astronaut pets here, and that will go in the long strip. Then our number 2 fabric is this great gray and white with the stars. That's our number 2. It will be in our 4 patch and of course on the border here. And I just love how perfect that is with the stars and the animals. And then our number 3 is this blue fabric that kind of looks like a galaxy from the distance.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got that on the border and also in our 4 patch. So just absolutely darling.
I love it.
The information on this kit is 8022299. It's called Space Cadets, and the pattern is Checkmate from the Quilts for Kids book.
It's awesome. Now the next one that we have for you is 9+1, and this is so sweet. I think all little girls have that dancing urge in them earlier than little boys do. They want to be out there doing all of these great ballet routines, and so you're going to put your focus fabric here and then make a pretty little sparkly 9 patch to go along with that. Let's put that one up here and look at this gorgeous fabric.
This is fun because it's very sparkly.
Could you find the pattern for me in the book?
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's super simple. You're going to make a square, and then you're going to make the 9 patch, and the number 1 fabric will go in the largest square. That's always the way that we do it, so that you can really focus on that fabric. I mean, let's face it, when we go shopping, we are drawn to those focused fabrics. You know, you don't normally go up to a solid color and go, oh, that is the most gorgeous solid color I've ever seen. But we do want all those cute things, and you want to look at them on the quilt too.
Yeah.
So that's your number 1. So comparing your 2 and your 3, and I love these. They have a real nice little shimmer to them.
They do.
So pretty. And so do the skirts on the little ballerinas.
Sparkly.
So the number 2 is going to go in this position. The number 3 is going to go here. Now, the reason that I asked Fran to bring out the book and look up the pattern is because we wanted to point out that every one of these quilts that you're seeing are lap quilts, and you make it with 3 1-yard cuts of fabric. But we give you the instructions in the book for enlarging the patterns. So what if you have a little girl that goes from the little baby bed up to her twin bed or a youth bed, and you want to make it larger? We do have a twin size here, and we even give you a king queen.
That's awesome.
So these patterns can be used for any fabric, and you can make them over and over again as the child grows.
I love it.
All right, this one is called Twinkle Toes. Oh, I love that name. 8022300 9+1. You do get the pattern free when you order the kit, or if you want to make it one of your 3, you can get the book free when you buy 3.
Yes. So this is one of my favorite quilts in the book. I just love it. It is called Perfect Pets, and we've got this fun kitty here that's cut out and placed on top, and then we have the kitty fabric here as well. Just super fast, super fun, and a little different. So let's look at that. Now, what's really great about this is this quilt actually has an applique kitty on the block here, and this applique is done with our number 3 fabric. Now, you might want to keep watching, maybe even subscribe and hit that little bell so you get notification, because we're going to be doing a really special tutorial on this quilt. And I think it will be very helpful for anyone that just falls in love with this the way I have. So let's check out this fabric here. So our number 1 fabric are these fun kitties.
I love them. They make you laugh.
They really do. I wish kitties came in all these colors. Wouldn't it be fun to have a green kitty? I mean,
That's funny. That's funny, Fran.
So I have 2 little sweet orange kitties. But
Yeah.
So this is our number 1 fabric, and of course it goes in the big block here. And then our number 2 fabric is so much fun. It almost looks like it's got kitty toys on here. This is our background here. And then our number 3 is this great stripe with all of the colors of the kitties there. And that will go on the borders here, and as well as our kitty applique.
If we're going to have colored kitties, can we have striped kitties too?
Well, obviously so. And this kit is called Cool Cats, and the number is 8022301. And this is our Perfect Pets pattern. And it is available in that Quilts for Kids book.
Well, I'm telling you, you should not leave out those who love puppies. So let's do the exact same pattern, but we're going to put puppies on it. And you do get the applique pattern in the book for both the kitty and the puppy. So you can make the quilt, and then you can put the applique that you like best. So let's put that one up here. And this is a super simple quilt to make with your plain block with your number 1, and you take that and you sash it and put that together with your blank block that has the dog. So you're not piecing these blocks.
Right.
You just have
Yes.
squares, so it makes it super simple and
Yes.
fast to put together.
Yes.
Okay, this one is the puppy dogs are your number 1, adorable.
So cute.
And then your number 2 is the paws, and you compare those 2. You'll get the paws for the number 2. So your number 1 fabric here, your number 2 fabric here, and we're going to use that great stripe. I love stripes in the border.
Yes.
They look so good.
Yes.
And that is your number 3. So this one is 8022302 Playful Pups, and the pattern is Perfect Pets. And it's in the book or as an individual
And
pattern.
just a reminder, don't forget to click that little bell and subscribe so you get that tutorial on the applique. So let's check out our next pattern. Simply Blocks, and this is so fun. So this is a really unique block that includes a rectangle and then 2 smaller rectangles that are strip pieced and put together to do this really interesting quilt with a lot of movement, I think. So let's put that on the table and look at this fun fabric. So little trucks and earth movers and forklifts, and you know what little boy doesn't love to pretend and play with their trucks. I think it's kind of,
And we were saying how little girls tend to want to dance around and everything a
Yes.
little bit faster. The guys are out there with their trucks, and I can remember your brother driving your dolls around in the back of his pickup truck.
all dressed up in their ballerina gear. That is so funny. But yes, they do that. So this is great. So our focus fabric has all these fun trucks and heavy equipment and everything. And it goes here in our big rectangle block here. And then our number 2, of course, it is the lightest of the remaining 2. And that's these great stars in the yellow that will be in our little rectangles and on our border. And then look at these. These are very cute. I realized that these were like hex nuts. And it took me just a minute, but it's kind of a mechanical fabric too that works perfectly with our trucks. So for all of our little mechanical people, that's perfect.
That is.
And that will go in our border and our small rectangle there. So this kit is 8022303. It is called Construction Zone, and the pattern is Simply Blocks.
That's great. Now this next pattern that we have, this one is called Square Dance. And Square Dance was one of my earliest 3-yard quilt patterns that I designed. And I had a lot of fun doing it, and it has a little square here and a little bit bigger square here. And I designed it because so many people kept saying, do you have any baby quilts? So this one is more of a baby size quilt, so we'll put that up here. But the cool thing is the book does give you the instructions for making a twin and a king queen.
That's right.
With this one.
And what's really great about our patterns too is that any 3 1-yard cuts will make any pattern. So all of these are made in fun kids fabrics,
Right.
but they would look equally as gorgeous in other fabrics as well. And of course the enlargement instructions makes it great, so you can do it for king queen size bed, which is fabulous.
Well, I love it, and I agree with you. It is a great way to quilt. 3 yards for a lap, 6 yards for a twin, and 12 yards for a king queen.
Yeah, and we actually have some extra special things. If you sign up for our newsletter online, you can actually see some of these made up in some different fabrics.
Oh, fun,
Yes.
fun. Okay, so we have our number 1 fabric. That's going to go in your largest block, and we also use a little bit of it in the border. The number 2 fabric, and I love this, it's also a dotted fabric, and that's going to go in your number 2 spot. And your number 3 spot are these pretty stripes, and those again are going to go around the box and in the borders.
I love the way that we've bordered the block with a stripe. I just think that's great.
It's such a fun way to use stripes, so feel free to do that at any time with stripes. You don't have a lot of matching to do, and they look great.
Yes.
So as Fran said, be sure to check out our website because we do have some of these quilts made up in different fabrics that you're going to love too. This is 8022304 Bubble Party, and it is Square Dance from the book Quilts for Kids.
Very fun. So our next quilt is called Topsy Turvey, and is this not just darling? Now this is a great quilt because it's actually the same block made over and over again and turned to create this cool kind of pattern that's here as you see, and then it's got some really nice generous borders. So let's look at the fabric for that.
Love this fabric.
Yes,
So
I
sweet.
love this fabric. And could we get the cropping tool so that we
Sure.
can see just how we do this block? Because I think this is one of those quilts that you can't see immediately where the block is.
Right.
And I think it's really very, very simple. So we've got here and here, and there is your block. So basically we have a strip piece here and a strip piece here, just different sizes, and then we put those together, and then we just turn those blocks. So if you look at this one here, there's that block again, just turned a little different direction. Makes it super simple because you just kind of get on a roll making those blocks and strip assemblies, and then you can put it together and it creates such a fun pattern.
And you're not even having to change colors from block to block, but it still makes it look like you've
Right.
really pieced some great blocks.
Right, so very fun. And this fabric is so sweet, Mom. I really, really like it. It kind of has a little vintage feel to it,
Yes,
which is
it
so
does.
fun. So our floral is our number 1, and of course it goes in our larger square here, and then a nice generous portion of it here on the border, which I think is great. And then our number 2 is this yummy yellow that has a little hearts and kind of stars on there as well, and that goes in our block here on the edges and a little bit on the border. And then our number 3. And I think it's really neat how this picks up perfectly these little flowers in here.
Yes.
So, and then that's our borders and our small block that kind of gives us our movement and creates that interesting pattern. So really, really like this one. This kit number is 8022305. It is called Precious Blooms, and the pattern is Topsy Turvey.
All right, so the next one is called Windmill. And Windmill, this is just a bright, fun, happy fabric, and I like that a lot. And it has no characters per se, but this is sort of like the kinds of fabrics that were made up in that quilt on my bed, because I would just sit and pick out the different shapes and sizes that were in that quilt. This one is Windmill, and it is a super easy one, just like the one that Fran showed you just a minute ago. You've got the same block repeated over and over again, but the way you position it in the quilt causes all of this movement. I love the way the dark windmill shows up
fun.
here.
So fun.
So the number 1 fabric on this one is this great green and orange. Oh, it's just fun fabric. And that's going to go in the number 1 spot. The number 2 spot is going to be it's sort of like your background that really causes this to show up, and that is very sweet too. So very geometric in the design there. And then the number 3 fabric holds a little secret.
Oh.
Yes, it glows in the dark.
Oh, I love that.
So any child is going to get a kick out of that. They're going to be wanting to go to bed so they can see the quilt.
Yes, they are. They're going to
be.
be making tents out of it so that they can see.
Oh, yeah. So those are the 3 fabrics in this particular one, and it is Creativity Glows.
Oh, it does.
Yes, it does. So this one is going to be a very interactive quilt for kiddos. 8022306. Windmill is your pattern. It is in the book Quilts for Kids, and it is also an individual pattern that you can choose when you purchase the kit. So remember to sign up and click the little bell so that you can get notification, because we do have a couple of other videos that are going to be helpful to you in making these quilts. But we also have some cool surprises coming up in the future.
Yes, we absolutely do. And also don't forget to visit our website and sign up for our newsletter to get some sneak peeks on some other things as well.
So that's Donna Robertson.
And Fran Morgan.
Have a great day.